A good evening, our dear listener. Welcome to Explore Online Radio, the home of reliable and authentic news. Today is the 21st of May, 2023, and bringing you the 9 p.m. news is Munji Shila. First, the headlines. Policeman arrested over mysterious drowning of his colleague. Magistrate dismissed over abuse of judiciary authority. Kampala International University Guild president perishes in a car accident. And looters undermine Sudan's peace. Here is the news in details. Police in Obongi district are investigating circumstances under which a policeman drowned in River Nile Saturday night. The victim was identified as Private Justin Rubakankene, who was deployed to guard Obongi ferry alongside another officer identified as Tobias Azavo. It is reported that the incident happened at around 9 p.m. when Rubakankene jumped into the river over unclear reasons and left his gun, an AK-47 with 30 rounds at his guard position. Shortly, the fishermen and marine ambulances rescue team launched a search for the body until this morning, with their efforts being fruitless. The Northwest Nile Police spokesperson, Ms. Ignatius Dragudu, said when the incident took place, Azabo shot 2 bullets in the air to alert people that something had happened. Officer Azabo is said to be in police custody as investigations continue. We arrested him on 2 grounds. First, we suspect that he could have shot his colleague and threw his body in the river. Secondly, we are keeping him for interrogation and safety as we struggle to get the body of the deceased, Dragudu added. According to a press release from the Judicial Service Commission dated May 20, 2023, Grade 1 Magistrate Abubakar Latif Nachibenge was dismissed from the judiciary after finding him guilty of abuse of judicial authority. The accused, Nachibenge, was stationed at Rakai Magistrate Court, withdrew 7 million shillings, which was deposited into the court's operation fund account as defendant's costs. On the other hand, the Chief Magistrate Kamwenje Moses Lule Lubangula was severely reprimanded on similar charges. And on a sad note, Douglas Matovu, the newly elected KIU Guild president for the Kampala campus, died in an accident that occurred at Bulwada, Gomba on Sembabule Road in Kabuloke Sub-County, Gomba District. The accident happened at around 3 a.m. when a lorry heading towards Kampala rammed into a Toyota Noah, also headed in the same direction. Matovu, a second-year student at the university, died on spot, while 5 other occupants escaped serious injuries. His body was taken to Gombe Hospital mortuary in Butambala, while the injured victims were taken to Gombe Hospital and Mulago Hospital in Kampala. The truck driver, identified as Sada Seruga, was arrested by police and is currently detained at Kanoni Police Station. Leah Tumshawe, the Katonga regional spokesperson, said they are still investigating the cause of the accident. The Minister of State for Information, Communication and Technology and National Guidance, Godfrey Baluku, has urged the indigenous communities around the Rwenzori Mountain to join efforts with the government to promote its conservation. Honorable Baluku, who led the efforts on Saturday to help create the awareness around the problem, was speaking in Kasese as he announced a number of activities as part of the campaign to save the mountain. He noted that several facets of the mountain, including its snow-peaked glacier, are of great importance, not only for Uganda's tourism, but also for the tribes that live around the mountain. He revealed that they plan to hold a dance festival this year and a Mount Rwenzori Marathon. In all these activities, we are trying to bring out awareness that we love the glacier and we need to save it, he said. A high-level stakeholders meeting has been held in Moroto district to discuss the implementation of the parish development model in the region. The Minister of State for Minerals, Peter Lokaris, PDM National Coordinator Sozi Galawuzi, officials from UBOS, RDCs, political and technical leaders from the 9 districts of Karamoja were in attendance. Mr. Sozi Galawuzi explained that Karamoja sub-region is to receive 47 billion shillings before the end of the financial year. He noted that the money to be given will be able to cause economic transformation for the sub-region. So far, over 20 billion shillings has been already remitted to the banks in Karamoja in the last 2 quarters for the parish development model. Beekeepers have been advised to take advantage of the organic market in the United States and the European Union in order to earn from their bee products. Dr. Deborah Amolen, a lecturer in the Department of Livestock and Industrial Resources at Makerere University, made the remarks during the World Bee celebrations at the National Crop Resources Research Institute at Namulonge on Saturday, 20th May 2023. She told stakeholders in the bee industry that through Oxfam and fair trade, organic honey is in high demand. She said that in order to increase production of honey, experts need to work with the Batwa, who live near wild forests and parks like Queen Elizabeth National Park, to harvest wild honey. She advised scientists to characterize honey produced in Uganda to understand the type with higher value as health matters and the cost to increase earnings from the sector. And lastly, Sudan's deadly war has offered looters, both Sudanese and outside, access, a sign of developing lawlessness. Just last week, the United Nations said more than 17,000 metric tons of food stored in a World Food Programme warehouse in Khartoum had been looted, costing the agency about $13 million worth of losses in looted food items. The UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, condemned the incident, saying most, if not all, United Nations agencies and our humanitarian partners have been impacted by large-scale looting. Food, however, is not the only or even the main target by looters. Since the war began in April 15th, pitting the Sudan Armed Forces and the Rapid Forces, the threat was always on the country's lucrative mineral resources. This brings us to the end of the 9 p.m. news. Thank you for listening to Explore Online Radio. Have a blessed evening.